Hi, welcome to my YouTube channel. This is Yolanda Rachel Sihlali, and for those of you who are new to my channel, thank you for joining the team. Make sure to subscribe, and after watching this video, catch up on other videos. Returning subscribers, we are back at it again. So honestly, it is my first time ever, I think, doing part 2 of a video right after sharing part 1. So I hope this is a good thing. Excuse the music on the background. Thin walls. Both eyes of walls is. First things first, side notes. Let me just remind the people who don't know what I'm talking about. I've decided to start this new thing on my videos where I share a side note. It's either something I'm practicing, something new that I'm doing, free advice, or just random facts or whatever that I think of sharing. So I usually don't say my side notes, I just write them here somewhere. I think I have space here. And then you can share your own side notes if there's something you'd like me to add on this part of the screen, on the next video or whatever. But yeah, here's a side note for today. Really haven't thought about it yet, but by the time I'm editing, I will have figured out what to write. So before I get on to what I'm going to be talking about, I will refer to my previous video about the abortion story. I am doing a part 2 of the abortion story anyway. So on my previous video, I had quite a few people talk to me on WhatsApp, sharing their views, asking me questions, sharing their thoughts, advice, or whatever. And obviously people are like, wow, you're strong girl for all teta kanje and a little bit out and about with such a story. So I have 2 things I want to share with you that were shared with me on WhatsApp. Both, 1, I am sharing, 2, I am answering a question. So the question was, have you ever had a conversation with your mother about how you feel with what happened? And my answer is no, not really. I didn't really have a conversation with her because, I don't know, man. I had to work on myself, by myself, and I think for a long time I blamed her for what happened, but at the same time I need to take responsibility for myself as well. And I didn't have the conversation with her because we were never that close to begin with, and that incident just brought us even further apart. I think now that I've grown up, we are becoming closer and closer, but we have not had that conversation in particular. Yes, I've had an outburst. We were fighting about one thing, and then we were arguing about one thing, and then I made a statement, Bana, I lost respect for you the day you made me have an abortion. That's the only time I actually ever mentioned anything that has to do with the abortion with her. I think she's the one who always brought it up. Like I said, when I need school shoes or when I need money for something, she would always bring that up, but she spent her money on that. So me personally, I never brought it up with her. Second thing that I got on my WhatsApp that I want to share with you, and please don't take this as me advertising abortion. No. I feel like, 1, you should have a choice with your body, and you should have, and safety first. Now I did it legally. It was done illegally with me. You'll know the story if you watch the other video, but a friend of mine was like, actually now zikhona institutions that do it up to 5 months legally. So she mentioned KDH, Kailicha District Hospital, bayenza KDH abortion up to 5 months, and it's safer than going the other route. So should you at some point in your life feel like this is something you want to do, maybe you were raped, or you fell pregnant unexpectedly and you feel like this is the best decision for you to make, I strongly advise first look into safe options like hospitals that are verified or whatever they do to do these things, instead of doing it how I did it. I remember I mentioned on part 1 that I'm gonna tell you how I got through this, how I recovered. It took a while because I get at that time I was still dating males. I can't even say men, I was probably dating boys. I was still dating male figures. So after the incident, I had to protect myself, I guess, so that it doesn't happen again. But at the same time, a part of me wanted to have a mistake happen, that it happens again, because I had fears of infertility. I think a lot of people that have abortions fear that they might be infertile afterwards, because it does happen. So I had fears of infertility, that especially because I didn't even go for a follow-up appointment after the abortion happened. So I had fears of infertility, and I was scared that I wouldn't be able to have a child again, and I would be reckless just to have shit happen, but it never happened. A couple of years later, I heard about egg donation, and the part of the biggest reason I chose to take that route was because at least when you an egg donor, you can only be an egg donor if you're fertile. And to be fertile, to find out if you're fertile or not, they're gonna have to do tests on you, and then afterwards you get paid for it if it happens. But for me, most of all, I just wanted to find out if it is happening, if it is something that's gonna happen. So I enrolled to an egg donor agency. I'm gonna put the logo here and maybe put a link to their website down below. And if you want to, I'll actually just put my previous agent's details down below. I enrolled, I became an egg donor, I did a couple of donations, and all of them were successful. So for me, that was like, victory is mine. Even to an extent that one of my recipients had twins. So I did that, I think 4 or 5 times, and all of those times were successful. So that to me gave me back my confidence. But okay, it's very possible you can produce eggs that are fertile. Obviously you take drugs and you have to manusdorfa and all that jazz, but that helped me get through it kancane, because it was therapeutic to me knowing that I can still fall pregnant, even if I only could figure that out by having someone else fall pregnant with my eggs. So that was one way of me dealing with it. The second thing that I did was talking about it. I talked about it a lot, to an extent that when I tell my story now, other people have all the emotions and they go through the turmoil. Oh my god, how could you get through that? I wouldn't be able to get through that. But me, it helps me heal to talk about it, and I can never say I'm fully recovered or I'm over it. I don't think it's something you just get over. Even if I have a child, I think the child would not be a replacement of my previous pregnancy, but it would be a blessing, a new blessing. And I would still consider my second child my second child. I wouldn't lie to them and make them believe that they're the first. They would need to know that there was someone before them. So talking about it helps a lot. We even have some sort of support groups. I think I've spoken about it a lot to people that have gone through it. I remember we would have sessions with my friends where we would have sleepovers and we talk about all the things that we've gone through, and then we'd pray about it, pray for strength, pray for the young. And in future now, I am planning to have another baby, probably within the next 3 years, because I want to have a child after 30, and I'm turning 30 in 3 years. So I've got 3 years to do this. So whatever relationship I go into now, I don't think it has anything to do with whoever I date, because honestly, I am not planning on making whichever woman that I date having to take the burden of being baby mama to my child. I am planning on carrying my own child. I want to feel that again. I remember the feeling and I want to feel it again, and I want to conceive naturally. So I know it will be a challenge trying to help make my girlfriend understand, Bana, I'm gonna have sex with a man and I'm gonna fall pregnant and that's gonna be my child. And if he wants to be a part of that child's life, he's allowed. Because I don't want any child to ever go through being fatherless. But at the same time, it's not about him. I'm not going straight for this one. But that's how I'm gonna conceive. And I'm looking forward to the future. I'm looking forward to greater times when it comes to this topic in particular. So yeah, man, I'm not gonna make this too long. It's just, I guess, survival tips. Egg donation for me was the best thing that I ever chose to do. And I think, yeah, maybe one day I'm gonna have the conversation with my mother. Possibly maybe I would have this conversation with her when I am pregnant again. So that she there was a point in my life where I told myself, should I ever fall pregnant again, I don't want her involved in my child's life. I don't want her to have anything to do with my child. But that would be so unfair of me. That would be so unfair of me for because of what happened many years ago. But at the same time, I owe it to myself to give myself closure. So I'll probably have to have this conversation with her if I am with child again, because she needs to know what she needs to know. But now this has happened, this is how it made me feel. You understand? But until then, like, our relationship is getting stronger and stronger, and that's all I have to hold on to right now. That's all I want to hold on to. And that's all there is to it. Thank you for watching. Make sure to subscribe, share with your friends. If you didn't watch part 1, this is gonna be very boring and makes no sense to you. So go watch part 1. I'm gonna link it somewhere here, and share with your friends, share with someone who needs to hear this story. Tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend. Young Yolanda. Toodles.